I'd like to make a prediction that 2026 will be the biggest year that PeaceTech has ever experienced. Hey everyone, if you're tuning into this episode is going to be real brief. It's going to be just a quick reflection on the previous year in PeaceTech and candidly what I think will become 2026 one of the biggest years PeaceTech has ever experienced. So can't thank you all enough so much for your support by liking this, sharing this with someone who's a friend and a fellow entrepreneur. My name is Shane. I'm an investor at B Ventures, world's first venture capital fund focused on peace tech. Yes, peace tech. This is something that a lot of people haven't heard of, but I think that's really going to change in 2026. This episode, I want to share with you how we can 10x the peace tech ecosystem using a 3C framework. First is community, second is content, and third is cold outreach. Cold outreach is the one that slipped my mind because it's arguably one of the most important ones and the one that really we can easily overlook. But one of the things that's missing in Peace Tech today is really coordination. So I'm hopeful that these three C's will provide some coordination. And this is less of a podcast and more of an invitation for you to join us on what I think could be one of the biggest ecosystems in the next 10 plus years that is not only creating revenue and profit, but also ending wars and violent conflict that you and I read about every single day in the news. So, what are we going to do about it? First C is community. Every big movement is all centered around people. So in this coming year in 2026, we're going to be in DC, Boston, New York, Davos, all kinds of incredible places. Dallas. We're going to bring peace tech to every end of the earth and create community. At some events, we're going to lead, some we're going to co-host, some we'll just speak at and just be hanging out quietly in the room. And I invite you to those to not only come to one of our Peace Tech events and build community and meet some other founders and investors, but maybe even host events of your own. And these are all going to be free for the most part for founders, especially that you can just tune in and meet someone new and share ideas. And who knows, maybe co-found a company with someone or become an investor in Peace Tech. These are all great possibilities that you could embark on in 2026 that I think is quite powerful. Some of these founders that I've met this year are just, I've seen behind the curtain in Peace Tech, and it's just really, really inspiring. All right, so you've got community. The second is content. This is a big gap, and I think it's like probably one of the biggest opportunities in peace tech is that some of the world's greatest founders are building peace tech, but you don't know about them. And we want to change that. And by we want to change that by creating content that tells stories, that helps people, that serves people, that is interesting, compelling, provocative, all of the above. We've got to create a content machine that allows people to hear about the good news of Peace Tech. And so we're going to do this through the Peace Tech Accelerator launching in Q1 right here at the start of 2026, which is going to be so much fun. We're going to work with six founders. We're going to be in the trenches with them, help them get to $1 million as quick as possible. It's going to be a 12 week sprint. And part of that is we're going to create content for them. We're going to create so much content for them, they're not going to know what to do with it. And they're going to post it throughout the year and see how it attracts customers, how it attracts investors. And it's going to be fantastic. And so I will personally, if you're a founder, reach out to me. I will personally review your LinkedIn, edit any posts that you're thinking about, any articles you have. My biggest recommendation for content is to just do what you're doing, build it in public. People want to follow your journey. You'd be surprised. People want to hear about what's going on in your life. And if they don't, then that's okay. But maybe you'll catch them on the next one. And the thing is like there's great value in building in public because then you have accountability. You also have people know what you're up to, and then you get to walk into rooms and go into pitch stages, and you don't even have to introduce yourself. They already know what you're up to. They've already read your profile. And I think that's quite powerful. So we're gonna take content to the next level for Peace Tech in 2026, which I'm very, very excited about. And so I invite you to do that as well alongside with us. And if you want to participate in the accelerator or any of that, just send me a message, S at B Ventures Group, or just DM me on LinkedIn. Third and final one, real briefly, is cold outreach. This has worked wonders. I've built my entire career off reaching out cold. A lot of my closest friends now started with a cold email in Peace Tech. And that's all it takes. So if you're hesitating or if you have a bunch of emails in your draft box, just send it. Be imperfect this year. Imperfect action is what it's all about. Cold outreach will help you connect with more founders, more investors, all the above. And, the truth is about founding a company or founding a business. Most of your problems can be solved if you pick up the phone more or if you send more emails. Sales solves a lot of issues. Not everything, but it can cure a lot of problems. And I think the same thing can happen in PeaceTech. If we reach out, we make connections to reporters at top publications, we reach out to more investors, your business will benefit greatly, 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 greatly from that. So cold outreach. So we've got community. We're going to all kinds of events, Boston in May, to New York, to San Francisco in October. If you want to be a part of that, if you want to be a part of the PeaceTech Summit in DC at the end of the year, and you want to be a part of the planning committee, we've got a couple spots open. So send me a message. Cold outreach, send those message. I think 2026 is really the year where PeaceTech goes mainstream. And the coolest thing about PeaceTech is that if this works, it not only creates great returns, that's fantastic, but it could also end a war, maybe somewhere out there. And we at B Ventures, we see a world where there's 1,000 new Peace Tech companies. Brian Abrams mentioned it a couple months ago in his wonderful newsletter. 1,000 more investors, mentors, advisors, academics, builders, people taking action, all for Peace Tech. That's what this is about. So if you want to get involved, feel free to DM me or email me. Shane, Ray Martin here, B Ventures, SMB Ventures Group. 2026, let's go. It is all about imperfect action. It's about being obedient to your goals, and I would love to hear what you're building. So send me a message, SMB Ventures Group. We'll see you in the new year. Merry Christmas. God bless.